Hello and welcome to this introduction to the IET Wiring Regulations. My name is Shaun. I'm one of the co-founders of eQual Training. We established the company to support those who are thinking of or are about to undertake training across a number of specialist trades within the construction industry. I myself have over 37 years within the construction and retail development sectors at all levels, from electrical apprentice right through to company director. So whether planning to take this qualification with ourselves or any other training provider, this series of training support modules has been created to provide the background knowledge for those looking to learn more about the IET Wiring Regulations course. This is just one of the courses we deliver supporting content for. A full list of our training specialisms can be found through our website, equaltraining.co.uk, to which you'll find a link at the bottom of the page, as well as to our Facebook page. If you do find this video useful, we'd really appreciate you leaving us a like, and please do subscribe if you want to see more content. So, the qualification itself, the IET Wiring Regulations. This is presently at the 18th edition. It's defined as BS 7671, and we have just been upgraded to amendment number 1 of the 18th edition. The qualification is targeted at practicing electrical installers, designers and anyone conducting electrical installation works with low voltage systems. An electrical background is advisable, however not a necessity. It is important to remember this qualification is not here to teach you how to become an electrician, but merely to confirm your understanding of the regulations and your ability to navigate your way through the book. Present learning within the training centre is of a 3-day course, concluding on the final afternoon with an online computer-based examination. The examination consists of 60 multiple choice questions over a 2-hour timescale. This of course equates to 2 minutes per question. The examination navigates its way from the front of the book to the rear of the book, meaning the early questions focus on the index and part 1, and of course this means that they conclude on the special installations and locations and the appendices towards the rear of the book. The present pass mark for the qualification is at 60%, however this must be achieved across all sections. The examination itself is divided into 8 different segments, and of course this is an open book examination. So during the 2-hour period you can flag answers, you can revisit, you can review or change any answer. Upon conclusion of the 2-hour timescale, if not already submitted, the answers entered will be marked through the automated marking system, and results will be available on the date of the examination itself. A resit is available for the marks which are just slightly below the pass mark, however this will be a chargeable resit. So, the regulations themselves. Albeit defined as a British standard, the regulations themselves are not statutory. They are not supported by law. However, having said that, they were created to ensure compliance with the relevant sections of the Electricity at Work Regulations 1989. BS 7671 of course is for low voltage installations only, that being voltages of less than 1000 volts AC and 1500 volts DC. It does however include 2 other voltage ranges, those being ELV, which is a voltage not exceeding 50 volts AC and 120 volts DC. And a voltage range called reduced low voltage. This being the yellow 110 volt stuff we mainly refer to or remain more familiar with on construction sites. So the book itself, it's currently blue in colour. It changes colour every time there's a new edition or update. And as per the last 2 editions, has 7 parts. By far the largest part of the book is the appendices. This covers tables and charts and is predominantly all informative. However, this section only accounts for a possible 3 or 4 questions towards the extent of the examination. However, this may prove vital in achieving the final score required, so should not be dismissed. Parts through to 1 to 7 are broken down as follows. Part 1 is the scope, detailing the types of installations covered by the regulations, those not included, and those which are covered, however, are also supplemented by their own legislation. For example, BS 5266 covering emergency lighting, and BS 5839 which covers fire alarm installations. The remainder of Part 1 goes through the fundamental principles of the regulations. Part 2 is an informative section. This section defines explanation and definition of terms and phrases used throughout the book. Also, any symbols used, for example UO or ZE, can be found to the rear of this section. Part 3 discusses the general characteristics of an installation, defining earthing arrangements and supply types. In this section, a better understanding of electrical systems would be an advantage. Okay, so terms such as compatibility, diversity, discrimination, now referred to as selectivity, are detailed within this section. Part 4 is all about safety. We look at protection against electric shock, and the potential hazards are detailed, such as fires, burns, surge protection and electrical interference. You will learn about the terms of fault loop impedance and the importance of selection of devices for switching and isolation, etc. Due to the nature of this section, of course, safety, this carries a weighting of around 12 to 13 questions of the final examination. Big, but not the biggest. The biggest is Part 5. This carries the biggest element, being around 16 to 18 questions. This section covers the selection and direction of equipment. The theory covers several calculations, such to determine the cable size conductors, fuse ratings and voltage drop. We look at installation types, containment systems and conductor sizes. It's very easy to get bogged down with this section during the examination, so therefore I strongly recommend you scour through this section and then revisit using any spare time accumulated that you've generated through the remainder of the course towards the end of the examination. Part 6, this works in connection with Appendix 6. Part 6 details the testing sequences and acceptable measured tabulated values. Depending on the type of installation and earthing systems, these obviously will vary, and it further details the need for inspection prior to any of the final testing being conducted. So finally, Part 7. Part 7 details the additional requirements above that of the preceding requirements for certain locations such as construction sites, caravan parks, medical locations and agricultural premises. As these sections are all relatively small, in some instances only a few pages long, you can be more confident in finding the answers you're looking for quite easily. So this is one section where you may generate some additional time to review the difficult areas, as I've previously mentioned in Part 5. The appendices towards the end of the book are referred to throughout the 3 days of learning and will be referred to and referenced upon several occasions. There may be a minimum of 3 questions on the appendices and the tables found at the rear of the book. There are now 17 appendices, some of which are no longer in use. So that concludes this introduction on the course. As previously mentioned, it's not essential to be an electrician, albeit it may give a better understanding on some of the abbreviations used throughout the training, such as CPC, RCD, MET and DNO. All of those can be found, of course, in Part 2 definitions. We will be introducing support videos and e-learning modules for each part of the regulations. These can be visited free to view, either collectively or individually. Once again, the link to the website will be in the video description below. So please do share your feedback. Tell us what you believe we did right and what we didn't do right. We do take all your comments as constructive and we will acknowledge all feedback. So once again, if you can like the video and support it, this would be very much appreciated. But for those who are looking for long-term qualification and development support, our present level of knowledge and history within the training background, we can support you further. So please get in touch via the eQual training website and we will be happy to create a bespoke learning pathway and portfolio for your chosen level of achievement, offering both theory, e-learning and workplace training assessment. So it reminds me for me to say thanks for listening and see you next time. Thank you.